At the peak of this business, we did $115,000 in 1 month with over a 90% profit margin because we had a lean operation. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why I decided to shut it down to start over at 34. I'm Clement from Singapore, 34 this year. Currently, I'm in Koh Phangan, Thailand, also known as the Full Moon Island. I do 1 month trips like that all the time. I'm here to rest and to really think about what I want to do next. So yeah, let's talk about the business that I'm shutting down. It's a B2B sales consulting business. I basically help professional service firms, mainly marketing agencies, book more appointments plus close more deals by sending cold emails using AI and automation. I've been in this online, internet marketing space for over 10 years, and I've started multiple different businesses. Think about affiliate marketing, drop shipping. I had a coloring book brand which I launched on Kickstarter. It was successfully funded, but still lost money on the back end. I even had this cash on delivery sex toy business. Basically, I was selling sex toys. That was actually quite successful, just not sustainable. This business has been by far my most successful one, and it has also built out the bulk of my net worth. It enabled me to have this kind of lifestyle where I get to travel for 1 month, work 2 to 4 hours every day. So yeah, like if it's such a great business, it funds my lifestyle, why did I choose to shut it down? I would say it's not a one-off decision. It's been an accumulation of many different things. I've been actually thinking about this for the longest time, think about like the past probably 2 years plus. And there has been so many times I've tried to not do this anymore. But yeah, let's talk about some of the reasons. So the first one is I dread running it on most days. There's this deep dread. I'm not talking about the normal day-to-day dread where when you wake up you don't feel like going to work. I'm not talking about that kind of dread. I'm talking about this almost like depression kind of dread, where I just don't have energy left after a day of work, right? I don't have energy to socialize. I just, work or procrastinate for the whole day and then play some games at home. And I don't even work that much, Of course, there are days where I work more hours, but on average, I probably work roughly 3 to 4 hours per day. So, which also made me realize it's not the amount of hours I put in. It's more about how I feel about the business. So it's about the negative feelings I feel when I run this business that led to the burnout, not about how much I work. I remember it's one of the busier months where I had like probably 12 sales calls booked up in a day. And I was quite hardcore, right? I could take like 15 calls in one day. And these are like sales appointments with potential clients. So, I book them on my calendar and I take those calls. I remember I was walking to nearby coffee shop to have lunch. And I just felt like a robot. It's like I feel numb and I'm just like doing things without emotion. It feels almost like I'm dead inside, right? And I always like, on days like that, I will sometimes ask myself like, what's my happiness scale today? From a scale of 1 to 10, how happy am I? And I remember that day I gave it a 3 out of 10. And for the most part, like that scale, when I'm running this business has been between 3 to 5. I just knew that I don't want to be living like this all day, every day. Like the reason I left my corporate job many years ago is to live a lifestyle of freedom and more fulfillment. But this business is not. It met some financial needs, but it doesn't complete the equation, right? So yeah, so that's the first reason. The second reason is that it feels too transactional. So I work with clients, right? Most of these clients are decently successful business owners. They run marketing or creative branding agencies. Most of them are from the US and Australia. And the reason they work with me is because they want to make more money. All right, I make more money making them more money. I just realized that that transformation that I'm providing them, in this case, making them more money, isn't fulfilling me. Because I know that money is not the whole equation, it's just part of the equation. And on top of that, when you're delivering services, you are not going to get every client exceptional results. It is almost impossible. I would say I have a deep conscience, and whenever I don't get a client result, I take it really personally, even though it's purely professional, right? So, for example, out of every 10 clients we onboard, maybe around 20% would get exceptional results. Maybe 60% would get average results, and then 2 would get bad results. I just don't feel good when I don't get all my clients good results. There's a kind of like savior complex in me as well that I need to work on. And the results I'm getting is actually decent in comparison to some other industries. Let me give you an example. If you heard of FBA, Amazon, right? There are these FBA business coaches where they teach other people how to start their own FBA Amazon business. Basically, it's a business model where you get to sell products on Amazon and Amazon help you fulfill and deliver those products, right? I remember seeing somewhere the success rate of having an Amazon business. I don't remember the exact figure, but it was less than 1%. So less than 1 out of every 100 people would succeed with Amazon. Think about that. Yet you see so many of these like FBA coaching companies out there, and some of them are doing really well for themselves, right? So this is not to judge that business model and anything. It is just to demonstrate that in a business landscape, just due to the nature of how business works, it's impossible to get everyone good results. It is what it is because everyone enters a service agreement with different skill levels. And those clients with higher skill levels tend to get better results. And obviously, the opposite of that is true as well, which is people who are less skilled get lesser results. It's just how it works. But yeah, I personally just cannot live with, in the case of, for example, the FBA business, I personally cannot live with coaching 100 students or helping 100 clients and then only getting less than 1% of them good results, right? So yeah, that's the second reason, which is a mixture of not feeling that I'm providing my clients a deep enough transformation, plus I am taking my client results quite personally. And then the third reason would be I've also saved up enough money to live the lifestyle I want. So I don't have any debts. I don't own a house or car. I'm quite a simple guy. I don't own expensive watches as well. Like my most expensive thing I ever purchased is my iPhone. Um, and the bulk of that money is also invested in the stock market plus and a minority amount in cryptocurrency. So, and I've also tracked my investment returns for the past 12 months. And that number has been kind of like matching with, if not more than, providing for my current lifestyle. So that is the third reason, which is I feel financially comfortable. I have my financial needs met. Now, I don't think it's enough for me to retire indefinitely yet. Now, if I want to start a family, to me, that is insufficient. And I also want more than what I have right now, right? Which is why I'm now thinking about what to do next. Now, the last reason I would say it's the tipping point would be my main employee decided to leave the company, right? She's been with us for over 3 to 4 years. She's our rock star. Um, in fact, she's the one who is bringing us the bulk of our revenue because basically the way we get clients is the exact same way we teach our clients get clients, which is we send cold emails to marketing agencies, book sales calls with them, and then we close them. So yeah, that's the fourth reason. I actually have been thinking about shutting down this business for the longest time. And when she told me that she wanted to leave, it was like a sign for me to like, hey, let's just stop this. And I don't feel motivated to hire someone new, train them again on all the processes, and things like that. So I thought like, this would be a good time to take a break and think about what I actually want to do. I want to do something more aligned, and I don't know what that is yet. But yeah, this leads us to what's next for me, right? So, like I said, I don't know what to do next, which is why I also decided to record this video. This is likely going to be my first YouTube video. I've been procrastinating on this for the longest time as well because I'm the guy who likes to be behind the scenes. I'm an introvert, and I heard this saying somewhere, I think it's by Naval Ravikant, and I'm paraphrasing. He's basically discussing around the topic of fame and money. So there's four groups, he said. The first group is no fame and no money. That's like quote unquote the worst group because no one knows you, plus you're poor. By the way, like this is no judgment, right? This is just me like sharing what I saw. I think it was like a tweet or podcast, I forgot. And then the second group is you have fame, but you got no money. He said that the second group right here, in fact, is worse than the first group because the first group still has the luxury of privacy. When you're famous and you have no money, it's like, then what's that fame for, right? Then the third group is you have fame and you have money, which is amazing. But, like everyone knows you, you might get stopped by people. So there's a sacrifice on privacy. And then there's the fourth group, which is you're not famous, but you are rich, which is in a way of like saying stealth wealth, right? You are quietly rich. And when I saw that, I kind of like deeply resonated with that. Out of these four, I want number four because I value privacy. I rather to have abundant resources and be unknown, which is in a way contradictory to what I'm doing right now because at the end of the day, you want eyeballs on your videos. If not, why are you even uploading onto YouTube? The main reason I'm doing this is because number one, I want to document my journey. And number two, I see YouTube as a launch pad for my next business. Now, I don't know what my next business would be. I also don't know the genre or niche for this YouTube channel as well. For now, I'm just going to talk about what I feel like talking about and let that guide me. So I'm just going with the flow. And yeah, I hope my next business would be more meaningful. It has to be more aligned with who I am. Yeah, side note, like another reason I didn't like running my previous business was because I felt like a fraud running it. It's like, you know how when you're doing sales, sometimes you have to be a little assertive with prospects, instill some fake scarcity or urgency, that kind of thing, right? By the way, it works well, but when you do that long enough, I mean, personally, I just don't like doing that. Actually, I hate doing that. Um, yeah, I just feel unaligned when I do that. So that's another reason. Even though right now I'm living kind of like my dream life, where I get to travel anywhere I like, um, eat whatever I want without really thinking about the finances. Um, it is the life I dreamed of when I quit my first job. And this is not to really like humble brag. This is not that, trust me, like I'm not seeking for validation over here. But I genuinely still feel lost most of the days. It's like I don't know what to do. I can wake up without an alarm, but I don't know what to do on most days. Maybe this can be for another video. Um, but yeah, I hope I can find something meaningful that I can do moving forward that is more aligned and can still make me decent money as well. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. If you have stuck around at this point, thank you for watching. And I hope I can see you in my next video.